WIBTA if I refuse to have intimacy with my husband? I won't sugarcoat any words here or make the situation in my favor. I need a very non-biased opinion. Around mid-August of 2019, me, 28F, and my husband, 35M, tied a knot between us. He have 2 kids from his previous marriage. He and his ex-wife are co-parenting their kids. I really love the kids. One of the major factors why I got married with him was kids. I have reasons for that. My father died when I was 15. My mom wasn't so highly educated, so with that less education qualification, she couldn't provide for me and my other 3 younger brothers all alone. So I started to do part-time jobs. I babysat, cleaned people's yard, took out pets for walk, did assignments of my classmates, etc. I earned really little amount of money with that, but it helped my family slightest. When I was 17, I took a food delivery job. One night, around 10 to 11, I was dropping food at the other side of city. A drunk driver hit my cycle and I went into a terrible accident. The driver needed to pay a large fine for that since my condition was very critical. I had a lot internal bleeding and damage. So because of that accident, my doctor confirmed that in future the chances of me getting pregnant is very less. It will be a miracle for me to have my own kid. I was at the lowest part of my life because of that accident. I couldn't go out or do my work on my own. My family took care of me. It took me around 8 months to get well. At first I didn't mind having a childless life, but when I started to notice my friends are having family, I realized the beauty of motherhood. So I started dating guys with kids. My husband was my second BF. We tied knot after we dated for 10 months. When I got married his son was 11 and his daughter was 7. I got along with them well. It took them few months before they started to call me mama by their own. I left my job to be the stay-at-home mom for them. Honestly, I really adore them. I have a good relationship with their bio mom too. After COVID, we went to Belgium for our 2nd anniversary on 2021. The trip was all good and I remember feeling so loved. The day before we were supposed to come back in our home, he proposed the idea of opening our marriage. If I say I was hurt, it'll be an understatement. I couldn't look in his eyes without feeling hollow and sorrow. I said no multiple times after coming back from the trip, but he kept persisting. After a couple of weeks I gave up and agreed. He set the terms. I don't remember most of it, but few of his terms was never share this information with others, we can't date our exes or friends, no emotional attachment with our partners, and always use protection. In his words, he still loves me. He only opened the marriage because he wanted to gain experience and use it on our marriage. I remember going to sleep all crying and hurt. I gave up on my job to take care of him and the kids, yet he yearned for another woman. We became distant. He noticed that and tried to initiate intimacy with me, but I don't feel anything at all. I just lay there until he is done. I also distanced myself from him. The idea of him having intimacy with other women while being in a marriage with me disgusted me. I couldn't look at him at the same way I used to. We always have our location on so I could see where he is going. Those used to hurt me a lot until I became completely numb at this point. Now I don't see him as my husband but someone I tied knots with to be a mother. Last year, I told him I want to start work again. He got defensive kinda? He tried to use a lot reasons to show why can't I work. When he saw all of his tricks going downhill, he pulled the kids in the mess. He knew I have soft spots for his kids. I didn't back down that time. He gave me cold shoulder and went on trip with one of his GF. I applied to be a teacher at my brother's high school. He is the youngest of my all siblings and a sophomore. I am teaching chemistry in his school. My husband was mad at me for having a job for few months, but he gave up. I started to give myself a lot times. Since the kids have extracurriculum activities, they always don't stay at home. I have a friend circle from high school. I hung out with them every 2 weeks. I met a guy in my workplace. He is 29 and have 3 kids with his late wife. One day I ranted about my whole situation. He showed interest in me after that. He is a nice guy. I went on few dates with him. Nothing physical happened between us. I think I am relying on him for mental support since he is very supportive of me. I haven't felt something like that for a long time in my life. Now few days ago, I went to salon and cut my hair short into shoulder length. My husband complimented me multiple times that day. The kids went to their grandparents' house for summer vacation. During night, he tried to initiate intimacy. Well, I straight up said no for the first time. I think he got taken aback. He had mix of few expressions that I can't put a finger on. He started to use the husband card on me and I put my foot down to say no. We had a huge argument and he left. I saw his location, he went to one of his girlfriend's place. He didn't contacted me for 2 days now. Now I am stuck between 2 thoughts. Even if I don't feel anything towards him, he is still my husband. I can't share this with anyone, so I need advice on this. TLDR, my husband asked to open our marriage few days after our 2nd anniversary. We became distant. Now he wants to initiate intimacy with me, and when I said no, he is giving me the cold shoulder.